So what if you had to say what your favourite part of Staines is? Would you say it's multicultural essence and community?
Yeah, I think so, but I also think the Lammas.
The Lammas is the place to be in the summer.
It means late mass, so it's connected. So it's part of the church there.
Yes,
so that's an old church, St Peter's, and the conservation area. I think in Staines is massively underrated. It's one of the oldest wistarias in Britain. And I think the Lammas, despite the fact that obviously it gets very wet when it floods, it has now got, not only does it remind me of being a kid,
the little boat thing, I love that.
But it's now got one of the greatest crazy golf courses in the country.
I love crazy golf, and I love the pedalo sort of boats in the summer.
It's
and
free.
They've got great bins.
Tell me why you like the
and I want one of those for my future house.
So it's the anthropomorphic nature of the bins that you admire, not the practical nature.
I found one on Facebook Marketplace. Well, they're huge, so you wouldn't have to change it that often, as long as you don't put anything too smelly in it.
Like dog poo poo.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you don't put that in, you would have to change that hardly ever. And I love them. And I just think, when I saw it in the Lammas the other day, I thought, wow, that really takes me back.
It's underrated, the Lammas.
You hardly ever see those bins, which is probably why I like it so much.
One of the very few things you can do where they don't want any money. The library being the other one. And I'm looking forward to the new library.
So, on that note, my last question for you, to round us up, is if you could give the people watching, the people of Staines, one bit of advice, what would it be? Make
sure that you are aware, as the name suggests, that we have a massive, great big river going through the middle of the town.
Oh?
Called the Thames.
Yes.
When I was in the pub, the Swan, I was in there with someone else I'll send down here, the most famous musician from Staines, Richard Archer from Hardfire, the only band from Staines to have a #1, back on the comeback trail at the moment.
Come on now.
I was in there with him, and he was. They have a studio not just outside Staines, and it's actually in Staines, just on the borders of Ashford. They wanted to work out how to use the studios. People don't really need studios anymore. Lots of music's done at home. And they spoke to the council to see if they could make it into some kind of cultural thing. That night they were speaking to the Chamber of Commerce, Alice Dare from the Chamber of Commerce. And Alice Dare from the Chamber said, "Billy, you're a journalist. How do I'm responsible for getting Staines in the news. How do I do that?" I said, "Alice Dare," I said, "news needs conflict. Let's say that we're going to change the name of the town to Staines upon Thames, Laleham upon Thames, Bolton on Thames, to remind people there's a big river going through it. If you just announce that, it's not a story. But if residents are up in arms against plans then it becomes a story." For like 6 months later, it was the Wednesday on BBC Surrey, it was their kind of "and finally," and it was exactly that. Residents are up in arms against plans, and he had a celebrity to talk against it, Bobby Davro, the 80s comedian, who's actually from Ashford anyway. And him, on the Thursday, Live did it as their fine. And finally, the town of Ali G is arguing about, and of course it was practically free. It was the estate agents paid for 4 signs. Staines upon Thames Day all came from that. So my advice is that it was my idea to change the name of the town, and it's to remind people that there's a beautiful river going through it.
Make the most of your library and your River Thames. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me for breakfast.
That's okay.
And the great thing about Nostranos, of course, is I could come here later and have a second breakfast. And any day
no one would say anything.
Any day that you have 2 breakfasts is a good day. Thanks, Maisie.
You can come here and eat a burger at 9 a.m. because that is something normal that happens here. Thank you for joining us, Billy. It's been a pleasure. Get the new vinyl. When is it out, or is it already out?
Now.
It's out now.
Came out on my 60th birthday.
Which was the 7th of June. Happy birthday. Go buy the vinyl. Bye!
Breakfast with Maisie.